Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today. As always, excuse me, it always happens when I start talking for some reason. It's not like I don't clear my throat before I turn the camera on, but hey, that's life. Nobody's perfect. I don't edit my videos, except at the beginning and the end. So if I screw up, yeah, well, I'm human. And you are too, so don't worry about it. You worry so much when you go up to talk to a girl that you won't know what to say, or you might say something wrong. Everybody says something wrong. And that brings me to the topic of our video today, which is freedom. Freedom from the obsession of the mind. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Those obsessive, compulsive thoughts that you can't stop. They go over and over and over again, and you don't want to think about something. So how do you gain freedom from that? Well, it's not easy. You cannot not think about something. You cannot not, you can't negate a thought with a negative. Like you can't say, I don't want to smoke. You have to say something like, I am smoke-free. And you can't think two thoughts at the same time. So you can't stop thinking about something unless you put another thought in its place. And sometimes that's difficult to do just mentally with that conversation that goes on in your head. Yes, we all have one. What's going on in yours today? Is it an argument? Are you telling someone they should have known better? Are you lecturing them? Are you chastising them? Are you having these arguments in your head with someone? Your boss, your lover, your wife, your kids? Well, guess what? That will be played out in the scene or the drama of your outer world. It will manifest itself, or the world will bear witness to that inner conversation, to those dominant inner conversations. You are constantly talking to yourself. Why not talk to yourself in a good manner? Why not have pleasant conversation with those people that you're angry with or that are not doing what you want them to do? Change those conversations into what you would like them to be. Okay? Now with affirmations, which is similar, you sometimes have to voice the affirmations because the negative or the polar of the positive affirmation that you want to come true in your life is so strong that unless you voice it, you can't seem to overcome it with just a thought, the thought of the opposite of the negative conversation or affirmation that you have in your head. So you have to voice it. I am happy, for example. Like if you walk around thinking about how miserable you are, and you're trying to think, okay, your conversation in your head is that you're miserable, okay? You try to think you're happy, but it's a lie. So you tell yourself verbally, in a low voice if you're around other people, that you are happy. I am happy. I am incredibly happy. Or if you're broke, I am incredibly rich. If that's a stretch for you, how about this? I'm incredibly comfortable with my finances. I'm incredibly comfortable with money. Many people talk about money, and they say, well, I think about money all the time. Why doesn't more money come into my life? Why is that? It's because, sure, they think about money all the time. But do you know what they think about? I can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. We aren't the Rockefellers. Man, everything's so expensive. I'd love to go to the Caribbean. But I can't afford it. Yeah, they think about money all the time. How am I going to pay the rent? Man, that electric bill's high. Actually, I was bitching about mine being high. But my electric bill is high. When it's cold like it is now, it gets up around $1,000 a month, which is, okay, in comparison to other houses like mine that are the same size, they're paying like $250 a month. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's high relative to other people. But the reason is because I have a big old house, and I love old houses, but it was built back in the 1800s, and that's a price you pay. They're kind of drafty, all right? So that's just the way it is. But I love old houses, so I pay the price. As with everything in your life, are you willing to pay the price for it? Or are you willing to accept the character building that goes along with having things other people don't have, having things other people's only desire and they never achieve because they don't want to pay the price or take the journey that you have taken. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone, in whatever endeavor they desire in life. But few people want to do what the successful people have to do. So, what does that have to do with freedom? I really don't know. I just got off on a rabbit trail. But you can have freedom from the obsession of your mind. You can let go of things you don't want to think about. But it takes effort. You have to cooperate. When you catch yourself complaining about something, all you're doing is bringing more into your life which you don't like. Think of the opposite of what you're complaining about, either verbally or mentally, and form an affirmation that affirms the opposite, affirms what you want. You could actually make 2 columns. Write down on one column what you don't want, what you complain about. On the opposite column, write down what you do want, and then make short, brief affirmations that make an emotional impression on you that you can voice when you get these negative thoughts or these negative conversations going in your mind. Most people talk about what they don't want. Why does anybody watch the news? The only thing that is on the news are things that you don't want in your life. Well, you have people that argue, well, I have to be informed. Why do I need to be informed about 15 children being cut up into pieces, molested, raped, whatever, and then thrown in the South China Sea? Why do I need to know about that? That crap has been going on since the beginning of time. Terrible things like that. Why do I need to know about it? There's nothing I can do about it. What's the point? No, I don't need to be informed. If something I need to know is important, someone tells me. I hear what I need to hear. And I'm free from all the negativity of the news, the fears that they try to instill upon people, and that's exactly what they do because fear sells. If it didn't, we wouldn't have horror movies. Horror movies pull in a lot of money. Fear, okay? Danger, murder, brutality, all these things. That's what most movies are about these days, okay? What is the news? Brutality, murder, rape, incest, chaos, controversy, deceit, fraud, you name it. That's the news. Very rarely do they ever put on something positive and uplifting. But there are many, many uplifting, positive things, many loving, kind, compassionate, generous things that happen every day in the world. But that doesn't make the news because that doesn't sell. People are drawn to the negative. But you must want something else. You must be drawn to something else. Otherwise, you would not be listening to me now. You want something different in your life. You're one of the rare few. Okay, so learn how to be positive within yourself. And as I said, form affirmations that are personal to you, that create an emotion in you when you say them, that are the opposite of what you're complaining about, or what you're worrying about, or what you're afraid about, or what you doubt, etc. And then say those over and over again. Repetition. It's just like being in the gym. You don't get muscles, you don't get a good body by going once or twice or even just a month or 2 months. When you see these guys that are really built, these world bodybuilders, these famous people like Schwarzenegger, that's one I remember because I'm older. I'm sure most of you remember him or have heard of him. It took years to develop that body. And it's the same way. It's taken you years to develop this train of thought in your mind. So don't expect to eliminate it or change it in a month or 2 months or even 6 months. I have affirmations I've been saying over and over again for years. And slowly but surely, the world bears witness to these affirmations. Some quicker, some more slowly. But repetition, perseverance, persistence is all powerful. What is the difference between success and failure? Many times it's just trying one more time, doing it one more day, doing it one more hour. Persistence, not giving up. That's how you gain freedom. You have to put out the effort. You have to do the push-ups. I can't do them for you. You can't just read a book and expect that to change your life. How many people buy books and never read them? How many people buy books and read them but never take the suggestions written in the book? You don't have to do everything that's suggested, but I do recommend trying it. And if it works for you, then do it. If not, discard it. Or you may take the suggestion and tweak it to your own personality. Use part of it or form it to work for you. Because what works for me may not work for you. But what I recommend, as I said, try what I suggest, but don't judge it by doing it when you do it a month or a week. Give it time. Give it time and believe that it will work for you. And you will see results. That's all I got for today. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow.